Hello and welcome to another art stream. Sorry for starting late. I was a little tired, so I got some rest before. But yeah, here I am. I think we'll do some. Oops, sorry, I need some music. Okay. Whew. There. Okay. I think I'm doing some since I said practice, I actually am going to do some real practice, not just I'm going to do some oops. Yeah, like there's a couple different things I could do. We'll start with a few, like, oops. Hang on. Jesus, phone is. Okay. Yeah, let's do some. I'll do some poses through Pinterest, but then I'm gonna switch right to doing some through Line of Action. I wish they would renew some of the images on Line of Action though, because they're kind of they repeat themselves sometimes. So yeah, it would be good to see some new stuff on there. It's kind of why I use Pinterest, because I have the oh no, it's doing this again. I'm sorry. It's because I think it's because I restarted. Sometimes when I restart the computer, it does not sync with the Cintiq correctly. So this is one trick you can do too. I mean, there's a couple different things you can always do. Sometimes I do this by accident, honestly, but you can always do your underdrawing in a lighter color, or you could lower the opacity. It's one or the other. That way you can always just go back and draw on top of it like this. But since this is just practice, I don't care if it's a little messy. But I hope everyone's had a good weekend. I made some progress on the VTuber. I thought I was gonna be more finished, so I still managed to chip away at it quite decently. And I keep proof of how much more time it takes than I thought. I just wanted to play with it a little bit this morning, and then I like fixed a clump of hair, and then I look up and it was time to go, and I was just like, well, good thing I checked. It was just like, yeesh. Just, you turn your head and all of a sudden like 15 minutes have gone by and you're like, oh right, okay, now I need to pay attention. But yeah, dum 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 dum. See if we get. Yeah, okay, never mind. We're good. Don't usually draw back muscles, so I'm just trying to do that for this one because that's kind of what I'm trying to use. There's actually a couple really good references within Pinterest. Like I have one saved usually because there's like one for character design where it's like someone like set up this like animation background, and then there's a where it's like male and female for character design, but then there's also like setting up backgrounds, setting up characters, setting up and then like types of characters that have been used in movies. Like it'll have like a whole like library of like Disney characters or anime characters, or it's really cool. I always lose it and then I always have to find it again. So I started playing that Star Sand Island. It's pretty good. It's early access on those games is always kind of a toss up. You never know what you're gonna get. You know you're not gonna get much. But in comparison, I'd say their early access is a lot more than like Coral Island had. Like Coral Island was very rough around the edges. And this one's actually got like a way more finished. Sorry, I'm just looking for some more angles. Here's one. Oh, or this one. Yeah, here we go. Here's another angle for a bat, kind of like a side bat of the back. With drawing Richard, I figure it's good to get some drawing male character. Get some models that look kind of like him. Well, this one's even better. Okay. This is a more straightforward pose, but it's okay. Kind of like a squat kind of action pose. Which he would certainly do. The weather's been kind of crazy lately here, but still manageable. Like, I was able to drive today, it wasn't too bad. It's one of those just like the road just a little slushy on the way home, kind of. Which was good for me, which I mean, I didn't mind because I looked out the window at lunch and it was just like a sheet of snow coming down, and I was like, oh boy. I'm like, I'm not in the mood to go out there and clean my car off now because there's no point. And when I did at the end of the day, it wasn't too bad. So. Yes, I mentioned this on Saturday, but I'll say it again. I did say I was starting to do work on a Discord, but with the news, I'm glad I stopped. I didn't rush into it because I might have to try and find something else. I will do something else. I won't just say there's nothing. I'm gonna try and find some way for us to all have a place to like maybe have like community nights or stuff like that, where like there would be like a. Honestly, I might even just make a make special nights where there's just the what's it called? Let me see. Hold on. I forgot the name of it. Oh, Magma. Yeah, it's this drawing board that everyone draws on. I'll just make announcements on here and on Twitter, and that way I'll use Twitter for more like nights when I want to do drawings on Twitch through there. But yeah, I figure it'd just be a fun thing, that like a fun community event. Maybe I'll do like once a month or something, where I just like leave it open to a few people, just so it doesn't get too overwhelming, and like it doesn't become like a. I mean, honestly, the way with my crew, I don't think that it would be a big issue. It's more of a like making it only a few, just so the traffic doesn't slow down the stream for the night. But usually I have a few visitors anyway. It's not like I would worry about it all of a sudden being like, oh my gosh, too many people are here. Quiet, everyone. I need to think. All three of you need to keep your voices down. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. I slowed down a little bit on the February. Honestly, I wanted to do more, but I just kind of decided that I really want to finish this my VTuber more. Like getting this done, getting the and like just also like having some fun this month because I ended last year with a lot of projects, and I kind of wanted to I finally have a game that came out that I can have some fun with after work. So and I know that I have a project that's just about to start, so I wanted to enjoy myself a little bit before that starts up, because I don't want to waste time when that's running. So, because there's plenty of things I could be doing for the project when it starts, which we'll have our first meeting this coming Saturday, so that'll be nice to meet the. I know. I think I said last week it was. I was wrong. It's this Saturday. It was. I thought it was. I thought it was on the. Yeah, I got the Saturday wrong essentially. That's what I get for reading a message board but missing the very last post because it was just snugly against the second to last post. It's just like, oh, by the way, we're gonna make it this day. And I'm like, oh, whoops. No big deal. I just looked at it and went, okay, and went back to work. Kind of fun to just try these out, because plus there's some good references today on here. Like usually it's hard to get. Usually it's such a mix and mash of like a different quality on here, which I think as long as you put in the no AI, you can still get some pretty good stuff. This is probably like something for it probably came from marketing for reference you would have to purchase, but they released a few that were free and they put them up here. So that's usually what happens is these sites, like they offer like these libraries you can buy, and I've done a few when they were like dirt cheap. Like sometimes you can buy like 5,000 images for like maybe like $12 or something like that, and I'm like, well, it's a bunch of models with in action poses, or they're like they're in like it'll be like drawing dress like for like drapery and clothing like that, like they'll be like women in dresses, like dancing different styles, so you get to see how the dress moves during different types of dance. And usually that's more difficult to get a good reference for. I mean, case in point, on Valentine's Day, I kind of just like grabbed whatever I could at the last second because I decided to do that. Oh, here, I'll show you what I did. Here's what I worked. I did a quick drawing of Richard and Grace. Not the best drawing of Grace. I could have done better. Her face looks a little off. I think it's also just that it's weird seeing her in a dress. or that kind of dress. Like she. If I redrew it, I might put her in something different, but I just wanted to do something quick and fun. Like lighthearted, kind of. That's AI. Guys, why is this in my thing? Oh well. You can always tell. Like when it comes to doing it's just a pain because like when you're trying to do anatomy practice and you get AIs, it just looks bad. It doesn't look right. It looks very like plasticky. Like the model will look like that. Maybe that wasn't AI, but it was. If it wasn't AI, it was just really not the best reference. Like it might have been like maybe it was a bad art program that someone posted art from. That yeah, that might have been what it was. I'll say I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that because that way I don't have to pretend to be mad. More annoyed than mad. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Here's a runner getting ready for it. Sprinting in track. Jeez. Maybe one thing we'll do in March is I'll also do some traditional streams. Because I could I've been thinking about that. Be nice to like get back to pencil and paper. I do that at work, but I don't get the time I want. So it'd be really fun to just like sit here and just draw for like several hours, just even just doing this, honestly, just doing some anatomy practice, but with a pencil and paper, just to get back into it. And then I can work on like, maybe I'll work on some comic pages that way too, or maybe I'll do some character design challenges, or we could do February, but just like like drawing with ink only challenge, or drawing with, maybe I'll do like a drawing with I can draw with different art products I have. Like I have water soluble graphite that I would love to show off, because I keep talking, I think I mentioned it on other people's streams, so it would be kind of fun to like just show it, because I always say it's really cool and then I keep forgetting to actually do a stream with it. Because essentially it's like this it acts kind of like watercolor is very unwieldy, so I'd say it's much more easily controlled than watercolor. But it kind of has the same principle of like Sumi ink, which is kind of like just spreads, and you can control the consistency of it, and it can either be really dark like ink, or you can water it down, and then it's like then it comes out much lighter. But I like it. I miss drawing with that stuff, and I think especially with the project, it would be really nice to use this as a break from digital because I'll be doing a lot of digital. So it'll be good to be like, I'm just gonna go on my stream and draw some doodles with a pencil. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Because the whole point of this is, first and foremost, is for, I mean, to show my art skills and also to just show that art's fun. It's really what I want to do. To encourage people to give it a try. And maybe educate people on some things like, either like art-wise or, like, if we're talking about like either dinosaurs or fairy tales, like just showing people interesting stories or facts, you know. Okay, I'm gonna try some of those line of actions now. Let's see. The only problem with them is that, let's do 90 second. 20's good. Start. Okay. It's just a seated position. Not exactly the most exciting thing to start with, guys. Oops, sorry, I gotta make it thicker. There, now you can see it. I guess I could use this more for the pant legs because like he's wearing like sweats, so. Oops. I did it, I'm sorry. Don't get mad. Please don't give up. Bum, bum, bum. I would say if you need to draw in like sections like this, there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you're reacquainting yourself with drawing anatomy, like, because you can always go back again later and redraw something a second time and try and draw without looking at your the point is to try and use less and less of the reference. Whoops, see, that's why it's good to do this really quick, because I already ran out of time. So, guys, that's what? Okay. I guess I put in clothing and nude for this, so I was just like, why is there just a random guy in like a Grim Reaper outfit? I'm like, oh right, because I did both, because I did want to draw some clothing like for practicing like the way cloth moves. Plus, then I don't end up with as many of the same poses, because sometimes when you do just the nude, you end up with like just like a few poses. Unfortunately, I know them all now, and it's kind of boring when you know everything that you're gonna get. But for artists out there, if you're looking, your art stores sometimes will have figure drawing classes. Sometimes they might seem expensive, but that's because they and I thought this too until someone explained it to me, but like it's just for commitment. Some places will charge you like for several months instead of well, I missed it. Sorry. They'll charge you for several months instead of for just the one. For every, because I was lucky because mine was just like when I was starting to do that more socially. I could just go and it was just like an adult drawing class. Like there was a few like college kids that did it, and it was really fun. Like the mall's really nice. They would just you could tell they wanted to draw that they liked. I mean, they get some fairly easy money, but they also like made the poses interesting. Like they did these poses where like it's always weird to describe because I don't mean it in a weird way. I mean it in like they didn't they. I've had drawing classes where like you in art class where like they'd invite someone in, and I don't think they paid them much because the woman was or the guy would just sit there and fall asleep, and you're like, okay, you can hold a pose. We're only drawing you for 20 minutes, man. You can hold a pose for 20 minutes, and if you can't, don't pick that pose. That looks like he's kicking her in the back of the leg. I didn't mean to do that. Those are two different poses, I swear. I'm still trying to draw with as few lines as possible if I can. Just to get better at drawing poses. So it seems like Hollywood, or like they're trying to make more of these like books into TV shows, like the Harry Potter one. Which is anyone? If anyone's interested, I would love to hear your thoughts, because I unfortunately was a little too old when those books came out to begin with. So for me, it's kind of mixed from the beginning, and then. So for me, it was always more like the performance of the actors, and ironically, the one that I know I'll never get back. I mean, we lost Alan Rickman passed, obviously, so we'll never get that. But like, it just seemed kind of strange that that's the one person they changed the race of in it, which especially but. Again, I'm not invested enough in the books to really have a feeling either way. It just kind of is this weird thing that I see them do. These studios do a lot with these books, where they'll just like change so much. Well, and like I said, it's not even just them. Like when I saw that Tales of Earthsea from when Studio Ghibli did that animated movie, Goro Miyazaki, I'm not sure what happened. There must have been like some communication issues or something, because like it just did not come out how he wanted. I think it might have even been him and the other guy. I forget his name, but there's at least a couple people that are part of Studio Ghibli, like the upper echelon. Oh, this is so cool. I gotta find more of these kind of drawings where it's like someone holding a ribbon, because then you can use that for like drawing someone like doing an energy attack. That's cool. It just looks kind of neat. keep make a mental note of that. Gonna keep drawing because this one looks like this. Well, the current one is just yeah, I won't do this one. I don't. I always wonder, like, oh, I should have put that in. I'll fix that later. I always forget to make sure that this is in the right category. Because, like, there's a educational one. I wish that that would mean something, because it's still, if you do figure drawing, you still have to, like, be careful, and which didn't used to be the case. Like, if you said you were drawing figure drawing, they understood that you were drawing figure drawing, and, like, they would, I'm not sure how they vet it back then, but, like, they would oops. That's why I'm trying to be careful, because that one was like a back drawing of a woman, and I was like, I don't know if they're gonna like that. It's like, baby, don't do that one. But yeah, I am excited to hear that Brandon Sanderson's getting his series, and that he's very involved in the creation of it. He always does. He has his podcasts, and I gotta get back into listening to those. But I forget who. I don't think who he had him with. I don't remember who he did it with, but him and another author, like, just kind of talk back and forth and kind of like discuss writing and like their process. It's pretty cool. Bum, 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 bum. Hum, 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 hum. Oh, guys, I don't. Do, 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 do. I do wonder what cartoons. Speaking of, because the Irish, or the tune came on that's got an Irish feel to it. Like, I do wonder what Cartoon Saloon's up to lately. I gotta check out, see what movie they're making next, or if they're working on a show. Because I really, Wolf. What was it? Not Wolf Children. That's an anime. Oh gosh, I'm blanking on it right now. But they had this, like, one about, like, a father and daughter, and it was all about, like, the English had recently occupied their part of Ireland, and, like, there was, like, this, like, they were the father was kind of being forced into doing work for the Earl, and the daughter was having difficulty adapting to the new the life in this city, because it's it has a large population of just English that aren't very friendly to the locals, and we're kind of like pushing their beliefs and just it was, but the bigger thing was about like man versus nature, and because she could like turn into a wolf, or she found this girl that could do that, and then like she gets the ability, and it has this really nice like father-daughter story that about like, which I really like, because like I haven't really seen that since like Little Mermaid, about like a father and daughter kind of coming to terms with like each other, and like how they're both like she's growing, and he still cares deeply for her, but he just wants to protect her. And much like in that one, it's like he's ultra protective because he's alone. He just the. I don't think they say what happened to the wife, but he's a lone parent, so it kind of like is that very like ultra protective father, like Finding Nemo, but yeah. Sorry, I just want to do a few more poses and then we'll get into the comic, I swear. I just wanted to try it, do as many of these as I can because I've been out of practice. I hope that's okay. I still haven't seen any of the. I need to go back and check those out. There's a whole bunch of Christian films that recently came out. They're all animated, and I'm really curious. Like there was one for David, and there were a few about various chapters of the Bible. I'd really like to check them out, see, because the art styles are very different in each of them. Which is the one thing I was worried about with the studio. I was worried they were going to be kind of like a very like almost AI look to things, or like but they're not. It seems like they're hiring smaller groups of people, like probably not big budget studios, but I think, or they're, but they look pretty good. So. And I was always shocked that, like, after the success of Prince of Egypt, that there were no more stories, like biblical stories, because that was, which is funny, because like back in the day, like early like not early movies, because early movies was like the Wild West, like they could do whatever they wanted, and then they and then the like people started to get worried because like they had the question, which you always do with new media, like I'm sure like they've had with internet more recently, which is just like where do we draw the line, and so they put in some like rules on like what you could and couldn't show, because like sometimes people would be, oh, it's artsy, so don't worry, and it's like and that way they wouldn't show it to kids. But then they started to be more specific. It wasn't until much later that they really got like really strict with the ratings, I thought that was much earlier in history of the film, but then again, like Amadeus is a about. I mean that's got some pretty crazy scenes in it, and it's only PG. So I can't remember what movie it was. It was something in the like late '80s, I think, early '90s that really pushed ratings to be even more like strict or more accurate, I should say, because strict isn't the right word. They wanted to be sure that they were conveying exactly what was going on. Oops, I just restarted the song. Sorry. Was it? It was probably something I know really well too. Like, I don't think it was Tim Burton's Batman, but it was something like that, where it's like something that I. But the point I was getting at was on when the restrictions started happening, they were quite they felt they were quite limiting at the time. So what they did as a workaround was they did biblical stories or like historical plays into movies, and that's how they would get around like violence, because violence was the biggest thing that they had difficulty working around. I'll be right back. I'm gonna trip. Almost tripped on my the cord from my phone, my microphone. It's been a while since that's happened. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's get. Why don't we do one more and then I'll get to work? Because I can't. It's turning to. We'll do this or that or this. This is good. Another back study. But like a. I was just thinking it's funny that recently, like, some games haven't done as well as they thought and they wanted, and they're blaming the fans, which reminds me of, like, the film industry has done that a bunch of times too, where it's like, I think it was Shyamalan, like, M. Night did that with some of his later films, where, like, he's just like, they just don't get it, and it's like, I think they just don't want it. I think you kind of overdid this gimmick, and people are tired of it. You gotta give them something new. You can't just be like, surprise, it's a twist ending again. And it's like, yeah, we get it. That's your thing. But you need to tell us a story, too. I guess he got a little better again, though. Like, I heard his newer stuff is a little bit better. So I'd never want to be too harsh on creators for trying things. I would love to see like what Tom Bancroft and his brother would do with this. I think they were working on something, but I don't remember what they were doing. I know that they're teaching classes a lot, but I thought they were doing something else too. Because they used to be part of Disney, but then they kind of went off and did some educational stuff for a while, and then I believe they were the ones that talked about making their own studio. But I can't remember what happened with that. And it'd just be nice to see like the it'd be so sad to if the knowledge of the nine old men of Disney just I would never want that to just disappear. That like they had such an incredible skill. Like if you ever watch those old I think they have the special for early Disney on YouTube. You can even watch it. So I forget what it's called, but it just goes over the process and talks, and they each like shows their drawing skills. So you see like all the I think we went over all of them in a previous one, but like the character, just to be more vague, broad, just because I don't have them in front of me. Like the character artist for like Jafar and like Shere Khan, and then like the artist that did like Genie, and then the artist who did all these different artists have very unique styles, and once you kind of look at them, you kind of can definitely see it. But the guy who did the artist that did Maleficent. You get to see how they came around to those kind of drawings, like based on their style. It's really cool. I feel it's just so popular now just to like rag on Disney as a whole, and I get it based on like what they're doing now, but they did have a very interesting history in the past that I hate to see get clouded with what they're doing now. Because he took a flying leap into the unknown at a time when everyone was telling him that was a terrible idea to do animated movies. Especially for a smaller audience, like just for children. Everyone was saying that would never work. And he didn't care. He wanted to try. And he made mistakes along the way. There's no question on that. Like the budgeting for the, I think it was, even by, I think it was Pinocchio, or no, I maybe it was Dumbo. I think there was a strike during that. But he also was one of the first people to like just be like have such a like diverse group of people working on a project. So it always blows my mind when people are just like, he's a racist or this or that. I'm like, guys, he was the only person hiring certain groups of people. So what are you talking about? Like, was he perfect? No, but he was not as severely bad as everyone wants to joke that he was. There we go. Okay, now let's get into the Drawing the comic time. Draw the comic. Yippee! Yahoo! What am I doing? Oh, I'm saving this. I don't want to save this. This is just doodles. Bum 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 bum. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Here's that. Put him up while I'm looking for some pages to draw. This is a character that's going to show up in the next chapter of the comic. It's a city guard that might be a romantic interest, but not but just a light interest. Not a. I don't have time in this story for him to be a major, but it'd be kind of fun to add another level of conflict. Because I'm thinking this city that they're gonna go into is actually I forget what it's called. They did an episode of Hilda about this, and they've also done this in other things like in Ancient Magus Bride. These houses that lure you in with things that you are interested with, and then they just keep you there like a Venus flytrap and just kind of sap off your emotions. And but this one got bigger, and it's an entire town, and so it was kind of just used to catch both. At first it was used kind of as a trick to just if in case there was powerful fairy folk, they were just pulled into there so they wouldn't go to regular cities and cause damage to where they in an area where they couldn't control themselves. Is what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. Where, if I can find the pages. Oh wait, here's this one too. I want these for the colors. Just so I have their colors on hand. I guess we have this page, and then I can finish that one up. I just found the other one. Where'd I put it? Sorry, one sec. Oops, no, not that. Users. No, it's not here. Huh. I hate how this always happens. I always I get everything mostly ready, but then I misplace this. I usually would put them in my current art, but I kind of just decided last minute that I was going to do it this way. So kind of doomed myself here. One sec. There's some here. Sorry, I'm trying to. Next page. I have it done. I know I do. Where did I put it? Come on, Sean. Think. Think. Maybe it's in here? No. Of course not. Of course not. Oh, here we go. Maybe. Yeah. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, here's one of the pages I need to clean up a little bit more. I had this. Here's the page before, where this is one of my favorites. Because it's the first time you see Cole, and he's a caricaturized version of himself, where he's very scary looking. So. I think the page came out pretty good. I need to clean it up a little too, but not as much. More just like adding in some backgrounds on some page panels, like here, like that second panel. In the final panel, maybe like a light background, like just like her surrounded by all the books, maybe for the final one, to show that she actually is quite busy. And then didn't I have one for the the beginning of the fight? That's right. I was gonna do this. Let's work on this one, because this is very rough, so I can make some progress on this. Do 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 do. her father wants her to. He wants a sparring match to boost her confidence in her skill, because he knows that she can. That she was frazzled in the last fight, and she's been like studying, so he wants her to show him what she learned while he was dealing with his brother-in-law. It's fun drawing her. Like, just there's something about like just the long hair, and I don't know, it's really fun. Kind of why I kind of wanted to do. I haven't drawn her in a while, and I kind of wanted to like kind of miss it. So I thought today would be a fun day, since beginning of the first stream of the week. I figured it'd be good to just do something different. Yeah, maybe I'll try and find some other artists who do comics, and try and do draw alongs with like collabs with them. That'd be really fun. I just need to try and find some people before everyone runs away from Discord. I regret that I didn't use that networking on there enough back when it was. I'm always late to that, I guess. But I'll try and in the next few weeks try and grab some people. I mean, get the attention of some people that can to draw along with, maybe, because I do miss that. Maybe I can try and get my friend who does his space comic to work on that in that software together. Actually, that wouldn't work. But we could do maybe we could do like a drawing session for that, for where we just work on character designs, and other people can pop in and work on theirs. And that could be fun. Just like drawing original characters for our comics, and other people can pop in and just like work on their own too, and just keep the chat to minimum. Not like that's hard for me. Although talking to him, I like to talk to him though, so that would be hard. Plus, we have been so busy with our own things that we haven't had a chance to really do much together. So, I've been looking for anything to try to do with him, because we used to draw on Instagram a lot. If you want to look back to some old reference of or any my old stuff, like back when I did traditional more, and he actually got me into trying to be digital again. I gotta hand it to him for that. Well, him, and the fact that like him like really getting me into trying to do my comic along with some other people in that group, like that really made me excited to try out using Clip Studio. And I've really been enjoying it, like, a lot. I love Clip Studio. That doesn't look right. Me. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Sorry, I gotta get some more water. Be right back. Why is everything falling all over the place? Yeah. I said this on my stream last time, but it's funny with the game I'm playing, like seeing how differently people will play even a farming game versus me. Because I went the obvious. I mean, everyone goes the obvious route where you start in crafting, but like I actually didn't do what I thought I was gonna do, which was I thought I was gonna be more in fishing, but crafting alone is just such a time investment that I kind of just stuck mainly to that, and it whereas some people went into like farming more, and I kind of started to dive into that, but like managing the small animals hasn't been as much fun because I'm not really. Bunnies are cute, but it's not what I want to do in a game. I don't want to take care of. I mean, petting them's fun, but I'd rather take care of like that's what I loved about Stardew is starting with chickens and working up from that was more fun. Whereas like in this one, that's the second thing you get after you raise the bunnies to like you enough. Which always makes me think of that. I saw this funny YouTube video of someone with like talking to their pet bunny, and it's like just thumping its feet really loud, and they're like, "Don't throw a hissy." It's like, yeah, it's like, "Don't throw a temper tantrum to me," and it just stomps again, and they're just laughing. It's like, yeah, they are kind of similar to cats in that way, I guess. That they can have they can get in moods. It's always weird to say things are like cats or dogs, but they're the best reference we have since they're the most domesticated thing domesticated animals we have. So. Crazy that people want those wolf dogs. Not because, just mainly because it just seems like a lot of work. Like they must consume so much. They're huge. But they live longer than wolves, so that's good. Because wolves usually live like 5 years or something like that. Like, I was shocked when I found out that they had such short lives, but it's because they spend so much of their life like running. Like the entire thing is endurance races to catch their food. So like, when your heart is being pushed that hard, it just means your life is you're using up your beats. Whereas like a house pet, like domesticated dog, sleeps for part of the day, so they're very, very chill heartbeat. So they can. That's why they can live 12 to 14 years. And the bigger ones don't even live that though. So I guess that's. I am curious how long they live. Yeah. This is fun to do again, though. I'm sorry if I'm kind of quiet. This takes a lot of focus, but I hope you don't mind. It's really nice to be back to this again. Gonna widen his stance a little bit more. So I'm gonna make it a smaller one because he's so he can prove just how much he's got. I'll make it a little bigger. There. Yes, she kind of dipped under his swing. So I'm going to try and draw that. This is not working. We need to redo this one. I should get that image from the Matrix, actually. I'll grab it after this. You know what? We'll play with this, but I'm gonna try something else too. Just a different pose, kind of. She kind of just dips out of the way more. She kind of like quickly sidesteps. This Matrix dodge seems a little gimmicky and not something she would do in a fight, or something he would have trained her to do. She kind of just pushed herself off really quick out of the way. Sorry, this is not a very good drawing of her. And she's got this big unwieldy guitar, so doing crazy stuff would be kind of weird. Like, she wouldn't want to risk damaging it, so she definitely wants to keep it out of his range too. And she like leaned back kind of, but not like Matrix back. She kind of just like quickly stepped backwards out of his range. But kept her balance. Sorry I didn't get as much done as I thought today. I mean, it's been really nice working on this. I'm glad I could get some work done on this. I'm already burning out a little bit. This is what I get for like not sleeping well lately. Today I was really I think it's just, I don't know what it is. I guess I'm just really hopeful with the project, so. Not pessimistic, but just always nervous about everything, so. Because it was really fun working on it the last time, so. Especially once I got into the groove of it, it was really exciting. I thought that taking it. See, this is the problem. You never know. Like, sometimes taking a little rest before a session makes me feel great, and other times it does nothing. And today was kind of that. It did nothing. Should have just gone with my original instinct, which was to just do the stream anyway. But, I probably wouldn't have talked even this much if I had gone with how much energy I had earlier. So. Bum, 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 bum. I swear, I love her. I both love and at times am so frustrated with her guitar. Like, it's such a fun design, and at the same time I'm just like drawing it at different perspectives and different angles is kind of a pain, and I really need to make a 3D object of it so that I can just like use that as a reference and save some time, because it's not like you get points with the viewership for having a correct guitar in every frame. It's like no one's gonna know that I'm using a 3D model, and even if they did know, they wouldn't care, because it's something that is used so much in the story that of course I'd want to make it something I could draw quick. That's what I recommend to anyone else. Don't. If you have a complicated like item or weapon, make a 3D version of it so you can just trace over it. Because it's okay to trace sometimes. Maybe they're both not showing their like eyes in this situation, so I can kind of hint that like it's unclear where this fight's gonna go next. That's what I love about drawing hair. I'm still trying to get better at it, but that's what I love about drawing hair, is that it's just like such a great way to show motion. Like just getting that kind of action of like her zipping around and just dodging out of his way. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to show it, but I'll play around, and it's really, it probably would be more like from this side if she's sidestepping that way. But whatever. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, and I think I've said this in the past, but I never really intentionally did it, but like, she's ambidextrous because he trained her to be that way in case something ever happened with just in general. Like if she hurt her hand, she would still be able to play her instrument, because he didn't want her to feel like she was Silver Lion on just one arm. Right out of the way. And here she's going to do a defensive spell and trap him at the same time. And he's like, huh, nice. Like, I don't think I ever saw that spell before. I'm not going to draw her hair up because I kind of want to show that she's very composed and calm while she's doing this. So just going to have her hair down. That'd be a cool thing too, actually. I just thought of something that was used in an anime I watched, and that would be kind of fun to play with her with because there was a character in that used sound too, but she could use it to propel her. She could use her music to propel herself around, so she could move faster. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do that here, but I might save that for a surprise later on. But well, not much of a surprise for anyone watching this, but it's the benefit of watching my streams. It's spoilers. I'll just keep playing around with this one. I don't really like this pose for him anyway. Maybe he's winding back for another swing actually, and or he went like that, but it bounced off of her shield. Actually, you know, I'm going to make this a multi-page, because there was another part of this fight that I wanted to show, so I want to make it so that she doesn't just beat him in one move. Like, it takes her a couple... Because this is a sparring match, so it's a friendly duel, so, like... Yeah, he's going to just be like, oh, good job. This is... It's like you figured out a good defensive spell. Nice. Yeah, basically put up this like red sonic shield that blocked his attack. And that's saying something considering this is Richard Steele's song. Like, and he's like tricked her by, he tried to trick her by going back to like one-handed, but it didn't. I'm trying to show that, but I'm having trouble getting this pose right. We're kind of like... Yeah, he tried to do like a powerful, like full body one arm swing, but didn't quite go. How he thought it would, or how. But I need to change her size because she's way too big. Oops. Hang on, hold on. Yeah, that works. Because it's not. I don't need as much of her in this as I do what she's doing. Sorry, this is probably a good spot to call it. We're heading towards 2 hours, so made some progress. Got this page cleaned up a little bit more. This one too. This is the big one, I think. Getting this one to a point where I'm happy with it was a big step forward. And I do like that one a lot, actually, looking at it. I just have to clean it up, but a little bit more. But I like the energy in it. So I'll be drawing this again on doing a little bit of this on Friday, and but going back to February. So yeah. Hope everyone has a nice rest of your week, and I'll make sure I'm well rested for Friday, so I'm a little bit more energetic. So yeah, take care and have a wonderful night.